Finding a gas station is usually not a worry for people heading out on long road trips. That's not always been the case for owners of all electric vehicles. That's about to change thanks to a program that got a jump start right here in Tacoma. John Phillips explains.
Electric vehicles and their charging stations from a century ago. They're part of the history on display at America's Car Museum. As of this summer, contemporary EV owners will find a new version just outside. Governor Jay Inslee came to help dedicate the first of 6 new fast charge stations coming to the I-5 corridor in a public-private venture to encourage more use of electric vehicles.
What we're finding is that by giving people just a little more confidence about where they can drive their car, they buy a lot more electric cars. And that's happening very rapidly.
Governor, welcome to Tacoma.
Dignitaries, electric vehicle industry representatives, and EV enthusiasts gathered at the Lemay Museum to celebrate the fast charge EV station. $1 million in state funds from EV registrations and $1.5 million from partners will help pay for this and 14 similar sites across the state.
Because the car companies have announced that over the next several years, there are going to be more than 150 new models of EVs that are going to go on to showroom floors across this nation.
That as the forest fires are raging in the state of Washington, we have to reduce our carbon pollution. And people ask me, what's the single best thing you can do to reduce your carbon pollution? Get a used electric car, just like I did.
With 33,000 EVs on the road now, Inslee's hope is to have 50,000 registered in the state in 2 years. That means more charging infrastructure is needed, and so are the partnerships that resulted in this first charging site. Tacoma Power became a partner in this first project because it can play a critical role in expanding electric vehicle use to minimize the impacts of climate change in our region. The utility generates the low-cost, renewable, and carbon-free hydropower that will be needed.
We have lots of extra power that could be used to power vehicles. And the great thing about that is, if we add more vehicles, it actually brings down the price of electricity for everyone.
There was a time when EV owner Chad Schwitters could only get a reliable charge at home. Now he says having access to charging stations like this will be a huge benefit.
I mean, 10 years ago, there were no charging stations. We bought an electric car. We still loved it. We still use it all the time because we had a backup gas car. If you want to go all electric, if you've only got one car, it's extremely useful to have one of these. It just allays any fears of, one day maybe I'll need something more.
EV supporters say they're on the verge of a new revolution when it comes to the automobile. Now in Tacoma, you can fill them up with electricity and spend some time learning how far cars have brought us while you wait. For Tacoma Report, I'm John Phillips.
The new charging station is located on the south parking lot of America's Car Museum near the Tacoma Dome and I-5.